If you can't handle stress, you should not be in business. I've seen people break down. They're the most intelligent people you would know, and their mind stops functioning, goes blank when they're stressed.
Meet Samir, a serial entrepreneur and founder of one of the fastest growing gym brands in the UK and India. And in this episode, he breaks down what it takes to be an entrepreneur and start $1 million business.
Most people who start business initially have an idea, know where they want to go, but the path is still not very clear. Expecting employees to be entrepreneurs is the biggest mistake people do. I've sold my houses, I've sold my cars, I've sold my bikes to pay people's salary, to pay vendors. If I were to choose between me and my business, I will throw myself under the bus, not the business.
You've built a global fitness brand. Why fitness in the first place?
Wellness is the fastest growing industry in the world at the moment. I've always wanted to do a gym, and people said, India's not ready, the market is not ready. People start realizing the word of mouth will grow. 17 months, 1,000 members, and from the 17th month to the 47th month, 100,000 members. And from one gym to 37 gyms. So I opened a gym in the UK, I opened a gym in the UAE, 2 gyms in the UAE, and we had 35 in India. So I had 37 gyms. Had I given up on this before the 17th month?
What does it take to build a business?
There's a science behind this, and you do it and you'll get F for what it is. Once you made your first million, believe me, your confidence just goes through the fucking roof. You believe, man, dude, I can do anything. The problems that have not been identified as yet, which means there are solutions that have not been identified as yet,
Of course.
which means that there is a business opportunity just lurking around the corner. Go find it.
What is happening, beautiful people? Welcome back to Empowered Human Podcast. This is Empowered Human by Empowered Human Tribe, a space for real stories, honest questions, and deep conversations about what it actually means to be human. Here, we do not rush to answers. We sit with lived experience, curiosity, and the moment that shapes us. If you are navigating growth, healing, or simply trying to understand yourself a little bit better, you are in the right place. Welcome to the podcast, Dr. Samir.
Thank you so much.
How are you today?
Very well. Really appreciate you getting me here. I first of all start by saying, and I love your setup.
Yeah, thank
Amazing, and you're doing an amazing job. I see your content online. I absolutely love
Thank
it.
you. I see yours as well, and it's very inspiring. And I've been trying to get you here for how many years now? It's been
Couple of years.
it's a long time.
Yeah.
But we're here. We're making it happen. Before we start, I'd like to play a simple game. Right? It's quite silly, but it's fun. I'm gonna give you 3 statements.
Okay.
One of them is the truth,
Okay.
and then you have to guess which one is the truth.
Okay.
Right? And then you do the same as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So first statement: I used to play rugby when I was 15.
Okay.
I moved from Nigeria to the UK when I was 15. And the third one is I'm one of 5 siblings.
Ooh. So which one is this one true?
Yeah, one truth.
The first statement.
Which was
The
play rugby at
rugby,
15.
yeah.
No.
No? Oh, but you look like you played
Yeah,
rugby.
no. It's moved. I moved from Nigeria moved to the UK from Nigeria. I was at 15. Was the truth.
Amazing.
Yeah, your
Wow.
turn.
Ooh. Okay. I'm an author.
Okay.
Okay.
That's an easy one. Oh my god!
Okay.
You're giving it away because I've done my research on you. Go on.
Okay.
I'll let you finish.
I'm an advanced deep sea diver, and I hold a pilot's license. Personal pilot's license.
Do you know what I noticed when I play this game? A lie is usually harder to come to think about
Yeah.
because the truth is quite easy. I think that you're the author. I think that's the truth.
Sorry.
You've written a book, right?
Yeah.
So it's an easy one. Yeah, I've done my research. I've looked you up online. Right. So I think the ice is smashed. I want to get into it a bit more and try to understand one, how to build a business that is, thriving. How do you go about that? And then 2, what does it take to build a business? So let's just start with that first.
I wish how to make a business thriving.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times what happens is people believe that, at least I believe when I
Yeah.
started that, I went to business school. So I did my MBA, then I did my PhD in management. Then I worked in the corporate world for 8-9 years, for about 9 years. Yeah. But I was still naive to believe that there's a blueprint which
Yeah.
will make you successful. So I went in thinking that you know what, there's a science behind this, and you do A, B, C, D, and you'll get F, whatever it is, you know.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case, and you realize that most people who start business
Yeah.
initially have an idea, know where they want to go, but the path is still not very clear. So everybody's trying to wing it, right? You have to try things,
Yeah.
right? I don't think there is a set method to say that you will be successful. So the first part of the question, how do you make a thriving business? I think the most difficult part
Yeah.
is to take the first step to start, right? Okay, this is what I want to do. This is how my business will make money. I think one big question, and this is for me, and
Mm.
it may be absolutely not relevant for some people.
Yeah.
Like I still remember this movie, The Social Network, which is about Facebook.
Yeah.
And he says, but how do we make money? And I remember Mark said, we don't even know what it is. So we're just starting something. We don't even know what
What
it is.
yeah.
And believe me, most times that's the case. You start with something. As you go on the journey, you start seeing problems. You start opening doors. Sometimes you open right doors. Sometimes you open wrong doors. And eventually you see, this is the problem I'm trying to solve. So you can make great business plans, and you should do that.
Yeah.
But a lot of times these business plans are made to raise capital. So if you are thinking to build a company that, okay, this is how my Excel sheet looks like,
Yeah.
this is how, and I should sell my business at this, and get investors in, that's not going to be the reality always. It's going
No.
to change. And investors know that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But what they want to see is, do you have the basic business acumen to build a business? And are you thinking in the right direction?
Yeah.
That's why if you see business mortality rates
Yeah.
are very high.
Mm.
But the thing is, if you can pivot,
Yeah.
you can. So you start with something. Businesses fail when entrepreneurs give up. They don't fail. There's no point where you say, okay, business is closed now. It's when you give up.
Mm.
You'll get success. Some people will get it in 6 months, some in 6 years.
Yeah, of course.
Right? It's just about how long can you sustain that journey where you are trying to figure out
Yeah.
what's that business model that should work for you. And then that's all it is.
Yeah.
I've had so many friends who've been successful in business,
Mm.
and believe me, most, if not all, have had a very bumpy ride.
Wow.
Man, there are days when you can't run payrolls. Back in the day when I was running my gym chain, we had 800 employees, man. When COVID hit us, I didn't know what the fuck happened. I mean,
800.
yeah, we had 800 trainers, man.
Yeah.
It's just mad.
Yeah, that's insane.
What was the second part of the question?
So, what it takes. Obviously, like you were saying, I think you part answered that. How not giving up is part of what it
and
takes.
I think, as cliche as it may sound,
Yeah.
when I say not giving up, it doesn't mean you don't bang your head against the wall
Mm.
when it hurts,
Yeah.
right? But just making sure that every time you hit a bump,
Yeah.
you take 2 steps back and try to figure out
Mm.
what's it that I need to change to run this business well. And that's
Gotcha.
all it is.
Yeah.
I think staying calm is one other skill that you need to have in business.
Yeah.
If you get worked up and if you get stressed, dude, business is not for you. Because whatever you know of stress,
Yeah.
when you get into business, that will look like a minuscule problem to you.
Yeah.
And suddenly your problems become last, everybody else's become number one. I always tell this, when you're an employee
Yeah.
and you shift as an entrepreneur, you're moving from, so as an employee, you ask for salary.
Yeah.
When you're an employer, you give salary.
Yeah.
And man,
changed.
I used to love 7th of the month. I hate 7th of the
Yeah.
month. Because 7th of the month, everything that you've got is gone. So employees get paid, taxes get paid, vendors get paid, landlords get paid. If you have some money left, you will get
You
paid.
get some.
if that.
Yeah.
If not, you're getting some money from somewhere to fill that pot so that you're paying everybody else. You
Yeah.
become the last priority. If that's reality, if that's your reality, you can accept
Yeah.
and you can live with it.
Hmm.
Like a lot of people say when they get into business, I see so many people who I meet in the UK now who tell me, and even in India for that matter,
Yeah.
I meet them and they say, if somebody can take care of my bills and my living expenses, dude, I can do business. I said, bro, that's not fucking business.
No, yeah, no.
What are you fucking talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, yeah.
That's
yeah.
not business.
It's not gonna happen, yeah.
Yeah. If your living Everybody has bills to pay.
Yeah.
Have you ever asked this question? Like, you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Have you ever asked this question? How does an entrepreneur get money? Like, if he doesn't make money, where does he get it from?
Yeah.
It just suddenly is that this guy's got money. No.
No.
Most entrepreneurs
Hmm.
and most businesses across the world are small businesses, right? They all struggle.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm saying, I walked in today to this place for the first time. I'm locally, I've been staying here for 3
Yeah.
years. And I didn't know a cafe existed.
Yeah.
I can feel for the guy who runs the cafe.
Yeah.
He's got this amazing setup. It looks fucking 10. Had I known,
Yeah,
this
you'd
would
be
be like,
here.
I would be here all the time.
Yeah.
But so for him, he's invested the money, he's put in the time, he's coming here every day, he's got bills to pay.
Yeah.
And what does he do if he doesn't have business? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
It's not easy, is it?
Yeah, it's hard.
So I think realizing that it's going to be hard is the first thing. Don't feel it's going to be easy. And if you can't handle hard,
yeah.
you decide what's your hard. That's how it
Yeah,
is.
of course, yeah. So, like, in summary, you need to be able to persevere.
Right.
Because if you can't persevere, you're not going to last in business.
Yeah.
Be able to be amendable and adjust and pivot.
Yes.
Because if you can't pivot, if you're just going to be like, this is one way, I'm never going to change, it's not going to work.
And handle stress.
It's stress.
Like, that's the number one, I think.
Stress.
If you can't handle stress, you should not be in business. Believe me.
Yeah.
Because, I've seen people break down. They're the most intelligent people you would know.
Yeah.
And their mind stops functioning, goes blank when they're stressed. Just blank.
Damn.
It's mad.
Yeah.
It's mad. The most intelligent people, man.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, you need to pay somebody this much money or there's an issue. And their just brain will stop functioning. They just go in a shell.
Yeah. Damn. So, like, obviously you've clearly experienced that along the way as well as part of the journey. Like, you were mentioning COVID. Like, how did that impact
16 years as an entrepreneur, first generation. So yeah, I've handled
you?
all sorts, man.
Yeah.
I've sold my houses, I've sold my cars, I've sold my bikes, I've sold to pay people salary, to pay vendors. Like, I'm telling you, like,
Yeah.
I still remember, so my business partner
Yeah.
now is the guy called Shrey Singh. He used to work with me,
Yeah.
in my gym chain. And I remember we had to pay wages and I had a Harley Davidson. A guy came in,
Yeah.
bought the bike, we got the cash, and in 30 seconds out, all the money is gone to employees. So people said, dude, don't you feel bad? I said, we'll buy more of these.
Yeah.
What's your priority?
Mm.
What's your number one priority?
Yeah.
So now this is the reality of business. And it's a choice I have made.
Of
So I
course.
don't blame anybody
No,
else.
exactly. Yeah.
You can't blame employees for it. If they wanted to be entrepreneurs, they would be.
Yeah.
Expecting employees to be entrepreneurs is the biggest mistake people do.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done it. Like, I still do it.
Yeah.
I still feel, dude, you don't understand. But yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Because that's not why he's here. He's bought into the vision.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to take this high stress journey with you.
Yeah.
He wants stability.
Yeah.
And that's why he's an employee.
And that's your job. You chose that. And
Yeah.
then-
And I chose that
Yeah.
to fuck my life up.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
not him, right?
Yeah. So I think it's important to make that clarification that no one will care as much as you do about your business. And I
100%.
think a lot of the times you think people care
Yeah.
that much, but again, it's like they care. Like you said, they bought into the mission, and their goal is stability in their lives, and then it gives them that, and they just go home 9 to 5, jobs done.
It's not that they don't care. I think, honestly,
Yeah.
they care more about their life first and then care about, the vision.
Yeah.
It's there and
Yeah.
that's why they are there. But that's not their primary goal. Yours, the choice we make as entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
if I were to choose between me and my business, I will throw myself under the bus, not the business.
Wow. Yeah. It's a commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So given a choice,
Yeah.
I would first throw myself under the bus and then the business.
Yeah.
An employee will never do that for you
No.
because that's not the choice he's made.
Yeah.
And you can't blame him for that.
No.
So I think it's very important to understand that difference.
Yeah, I love that. And for me as well, like from what you just said, I think resilience sounds like it's an important skill that, again, it's something that you need to have, or it's something you need to have, or it's something that you grow and develop over time. Like, what would you...
For me, I would say over a period of time, initially it was very stressful for me.
Yeah.
I've always been hardworking. I still remember, I used to have a boss in India called Ashu Kalappa. He used to tell me, Samir, you're in the wrong place, man. You need to be an entrepreneur. Because I always thought of, I worked in a different way. He says, you don't need to do this, but you're going over and beyond of what is required to be done. You're best suited to be an entrepreneur. And I've realized that I could take a lot of stress. I could do what I could do at that point of time, but it's been a learning experience for me as well. So I think over a period of time, when you try it, you realize, are you cut out for it or not? Thinking that you will be an entrepreneur and being an entrepreneur are two different things altogether.
If you have any like advice or tips to people, for people that are going through that stressful journey at the moment, or any tips on how to build resilience?
I think
what would it be?
I think one thing people need to realize, the best enemy and friend of yours is the same thing, time.
Time,
You see, it's never going to be bad forever, and it's never going to be good forever. So
that's powerful.
If you understand that well, now is now, but after 5 minutes, the now can change. So as long as you're moving in the right direction, I always talk to myself and I say, dude, I know it's bad now, but you don't know what door will open which day. Right? You don't know what opportunity. So unless you go, it's like saying, you're in the wild. You're a tiger, right? You're hungry for the last 5 days. Now you could believe that I'm going to starve to death. I'm fucked. Or you could say, dude, the next piece of food for me, a zebra, a fucking whatever, a deer, is just round the corner. And guess what? Once you have that, you're full for next 4, 5, 6 days.
Then you got time to.
You're always hunting. Never, as an entrepreneur, never lose your instinct to hunt and believe that you're going to get there. Not everybody gets there, but resilience is built on I think hope is such a big strength that if you're hopeful, right, and not foolish, not naive, not expecting that you'll get $1 million next day, but believing that if you work hard enough and you put in long enough hours, the basic mathematics will work, and probability is that you will succeed. That's all. I mean, if you talk to yourself and say, dude, tomorrow can be better. I could get this. I could get that. So rather than thinking what can go wrong all the time, like I have a friend of mine, he sold his company, a CRM company in the UK. And he always says, Samir, you're the eternal optimist. I am.
Like, I love that.
Man, fuck, let's do this. But you need people like that.
Of course.
And you have to be, especially as a founder, you have to be like that. You have to push the envelope. You have to talk to people. You have to, motivate them. You have to tell your team, this is the vision. If you look, man, I remember you would have the most stressful time. And you're going through absolute shit. But when you walk into that workplace, if there is that energy coming off you,
everyone,
it just is so contagious. So you have to be always cheerful, talking, cracking jokes, having fun, be absolutely laser focused. And when they look at you and say, dude, we are fucking, we're good, we're good, we got this. That's what you need. The analogy would be, as children, you believe, oh, my mom, dad are fucking superheroes, right? There's no problem that can touch me because I've got my parents who'll fucking sort shit out for me. That's the role of a founder, right? People should feel, dude, he's got this. He's got our back. That's it.
That. That's like, I like the analogy. Like, you're the parent as a founder, and then the children, you're meant to guide them along the way. I think that's powerful. But also, obviously as well, I believe in like being delusional but proving it. I believe in evidence. Right? Have this delusion, this is gonna be this is the goal. Be optimistic as much as you want, but you have to have evidence. And I think it's evidence that builds confidence over time. So I love that.
And when you've done this before. So I remember I lost a lot of money during COVID, like more than $1 million. So forget that. What I'm trying to say is, when you as a founder look at yourself and you've been able to achieve this, you understand one thing very clearly, that if I could have done this before, I can do it again.
Yeah.
It was not an accident. I know what it takes.
Yeah.
I think as long as you know that, there will be ups and downs. Man, I've seen, man, so many stories of people who lost money. And I was not the only one who lost money in
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
A lot of people lost a lot of money during
Mm.
COVID. So, and I remember this, man. So 11th of March, I signed a term sheet, uh, with with a company for, when I was in the process of selling my gym chain.
Yeah.
13th of March, we had a lockdown. So couldn't fucking sell it. And on the valuation, I lost like more than a couple of million on the valuation. But the thing is,
Yeah.
that was the reality.
Yeah.
You have to accept that
Mm.
and move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Simple as that.
It's a hard pill to swallow, but again, that's part of what it takes. Knowing that, you know what, this happen, we have to move on. We have to keep moving. Otherwise,
Once you made your first million, believe me, your confidence just goes through the fucking roof. You believe,
yeah,
man,
yeah,
dude, I can do anything.
yeah. I can fly.
I can exactly that. So you know
Yeah,
what I mean. So
yeah.
it's just about once you've tasted success
Mm,
and you know the recipe,
yeah,
you can figure it out.
yeah. I love
There are
that.
there are problems that have not been identified as yet.
Yeah,
Which means there are solutions that have not been identified as yet.
of course.
Which means that there is a business opportunity just lurking around the corner. Go find it.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, we've spoken about being an entrepreneur, what it takes to be an entrepreneur, and all the skills and everything else. Now I want to talk about about you, and you've built a global fitness brand. Like, what is that like? Why fitness in the first place? What led you to, on that path?
Oh, absolute accident.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
it?
absolute accident. Absolute accident.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I say. Just
Just-
keep looking out for
yeah.
opportunities. So, see, my dad was in the armed forces. So he retired as a colonel from the Indian Army, and till then I had only used armed forces gyms from the armed forces.
Yeah.
And the armed forces gyms did not have so much equipment. So what
Mm.
they would typically have is battle ropes, rope climb, sub squat racks, everything. We'd never seen like plate loaded. We'd never seen the pin loaded and all that, all sorts of equipment. And I moved and I started using some gyms outside of the armed forces as I
Yeah.
started doing my job and I moved away from my parents.
Yeah.
And for almost 6-7 years, I used and I said, boss, this is something is not right. These are not the kind of gyms, there's no there's no space to do any free movement. It's like an equipment showroom.
Yeah.
And I said, this is a great opportunity. And then I was running my first business. That was a business school. So that my first business was a business school. So I used to, and that's why I ended up doing my PhD because
Yeah.
I love to teach and as a coach. And my students would today the people who passed out from my institution, and we were not a great institution in terms of where we ranked.
Yeah.
Took people on potential, and I tried to groom them personally to
Yeah.
become successful. And so I've got students in LinkedIn, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, you name a company, they're there, and some of
Jeez.
them are very senior, doing extremely well. So I feel
Incredible.
proud of
Yeah.
of myself that we identified the right people and they've worked hard and got where they've got. So I was running this business school, and at that point of time, I got to know there's a gym up for sale. It was a space, and the guy had, he could not, work. The landlord and everything. There were multiple issues.
Yeah.
So I said, I've always wanted to do a gym, and I said, okay, let's go in. I didn't even see anything, and I said, okay, I'll just make it into a gym like what I thought it should be.
Yeah.
And I still remember, man, and I've spoken about this in my TED talk as well. For the first 17 months, we had 1,000 members.
Jeez.
And I was, oh man, we were struggling. Everybody used to tell me, Samir, just shut this down.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
a
gonna work.
stupidity. It's not worth it. You're bleeding. You paying money from your pocket. Let it go. Let it go. I said, no, dude. I will get this right. And I remember people used to walk into the gym and see the gym and say, okay, nice, looks good. So when is it going to get completed? I said, dude, it's completed.
done.
Because we didn't have treadmill, we didn't have any of that shit. So I was like, fuck, man, it's you know what I mean. So it's like
Yeah.
you're like, bro, I mean, and people said, India is not ready, the market is not ready. I said, I'm telling you, if the entire Indian army can use gyms like this, 1,000,000% at some point of time,
Yeah.
people will start realizing the word of mouth will grow. 17 months, 1,000 members. And from the 17th month to the 47th month, 100,000 members. And
Woo.
from one gym, to 37 gyms.
Jeez.
From 17 to the 48th month, we added 36 gyms. Moved. So I opened a gym in the UK. I opened a gym in the UAE.
Yeah.
2 gyms in the UAE, and we had 35 in India. So I had 37 gyms. Had I given up on this before the 17th month,
It's done.
it was game over. Yeah.
Whew.
So it was a difficult journey.
Yeah.
And then I sold that business, and I said, and this was COVID, so we lost a lot of money, and I was like, but I had confidence because I had
Yeah.
built one of the fastest growing gym brands in India. And what we realized at that point of time was that there were no equipment suppliers who were operators, which means that they didn't understand
Yeah.
the problems of an operator. Like a
Watch.
problem of an operator is he's not the equipment is a means to an end. It is
Yeah.
not an end in itself.
No, no,
right?
no.
So put yourself. So Shrey, the guy who's my business
Yeah.
partner now, he used to do the equipment procurement for you, and he used to
Yeah.
come and tell me, sir, why are we doing this? We should get into the equipment business. I said, boss, that's not our business. And because I was an operator, so I had
Yeah.
these blind fold like a horse, and
Yeah.
I used to say, boss, I'm not bothered about the equipment.
Mm-mm.
All I'm bothered about is my gym, my members, their experience, everything. And then Shrey said, let's do a COVID hit, sold the company, says, let's do an equipment business. That point of time, people were at home. So people wanted equipment.
Yeah.
And it all started with a friend of mine calling me, Samir, can I pick up the 20 kg dumbbells from the gym? I said, bro, you're not allowed to get out of the house.
Yeah. How you
everything,
gonna
and, how you going to? He says, no, I'll sneak out at night and get it. I said, okay, go sneak out and get it. So at night he came, took the keys from me, took the dumbbells and everything.
Yeah.
And then I said, bro, this is a fucking business plan. We have got so much stuff in
Okay.
stock.
Yeah.
And we started selling that, and we built a brand. And this concept was, in fact, Shrey came up with this concept even before we sold
Yeah.
Multifit, that, we need to get into the equipment business. And then this started, and we started doing, over COVID, we did about 800 home gyms.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we got our designs made. We hired engineers to do the entire stuff. We didn't know. So trainers got involved, got some tips from people how to do this and all that. That's how it started. And today, yeah, we are now servicing. We've got global contracts with
Yeah.
a company called Speedflex, which is backed by Alan Shearer.
Jeez.
We have a global manufacturing contract with them. We work with Box 12. And we work with the biggest of brands in the fitness space. In India, in the UK, we work with Hybrid Fitness. We work with Gym Nation. We work with a lot of brands which are now global. So we service at the moment Kuwait. We service the UAE.
Yeah.
We service Saudi Arabia. We service the UK, India.
Yeah.
We've done some work in Germany. So and we're looking at some other territories in the world as well. So
Yeah.
I've got a great team here, and again, met people by accident. My business partner here is a guy called Jake. We met 10 years back because
Yeah.
I poached his sales manager, and we were in touch, and we met again after 2 years. He was working somewhere. I said,
Yeah.
I'm doing this, and he always wanted to be an entrepreneur. He had been
Yeah.
one in the past.
Yeah.
He jumped on the bandwagon
That's
and then
it.
just exploded. So now my focus is predominantly on two things. We have a technology company which basically sells is creating a 12-week transformation program. So that's a tech bit of it. And there's one piece of business which I do, which is the equipment business. These are the
Yeah.
two areas of focus.
Yeah.
And my passion project obviously is my podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm usually on the other side of the table.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I'm nuts to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'd love to take you back because obviously, like, I love the story of, like, from going from 1,000 to hundreds of thousands in that space. Like, what was the catalyst? Like, what was what was the big change that allowed you to get to that level? Because I'm thinking of, like, from someone listening to this, it's like, whoa, what's going on? Like, what happened between those times? Then we'll talk about like the other stuff.
I mean, it's amazing to sit with somebody who's a seasoned podcaster.
Yeah.
That's an amazing question,
Yeah.
because that's the thing, I mean, as founders, you're storytellers.
Yeah.
But, that's, and you're right. The thing that differentiated us, or what changed, was, so I said, what are the gyms doing wrong?
Hmm.
And why are members coming to us? So I started speaking with people, why do you come to us? And we realized that most gyms were not giving the right kind of importance to hiring of the right trainers.
Wow.
Now,
Okay.
what was happening was a typical gym when they would open, what they would do is focus on creating the gym, getting good rental, whatever, whatever. And then the trainers, they would say, hire people from competition. So you never had a DNA. So what was happening is you're getting two people from in India at that point of time,
Yeah.
two people from Gold's gym, one person from somewhere else, two people from this local gym, one from there, and you just suddenly have absolute culture mismatch because you not inducted them well enough.
Yeah.
Now I came with an HR background, so my MBA is in HR, my PhD is in talent acquisition, and I said, there is something that I can learn that I can use, which I've learned in the past, which was when I was doing talent acquisition. So I used to head up talent acquisition for Bank of America and Stan
Oh,
Chart
wow.
Bank.
Yeah.
That was my last corporate assignment.
Yeah.
And I remember, I said, let's set up an academy. And that was unheard of. Like a gym setting up an
An
academy.
academy.
I said, bro, we're not going to hire people with experience at all. So we did not hire anybody who came with it. That's a disqualification. So if you worked in a gym before,
Oh, no.
fuck off. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
And the reason was because they would come with so much baggage that all they were interested was to try and sell personal training.
Mm.
So if you were to map this out and say, what did we do differently? We hired talent based on what we required in our system, and not look at try to do a band-aid or like a quick fix of getting three from this they'll come. So typical gyms, this is how they would think: let's get these 4 trainers, they will get 20 members each. The fuck are you doing?
No, yeah.
It's so myopic, so short term. And I started meeting people from the industry. I said, dude, this is not going to go anywhere. We have to do something different. So I had trainers
Yeah.
who were, so this is how we hired trainers. It's a joke, but that's how it just happened like this. Members started becoming our trainers. So they would come into the gym. A lady lost 25 kg and said, fuck man, this is what I want to do for my life. I want to train people.
Yeah.
So I used to sponsor people to do a training course, come back and become personal trainers with us. So I had lawyers as personal trainers. I had doctors as personal trainers. I had physiotherapists
You're a
as personal trainers.
I'm a personal trainer. Everyone's a personal trainer.
I had athletes as personal trainers. So you would be surprised.
Hmm.
Somebody who's played football, somebody who's played rugby, they understand how to train. They've not been trained to be a personal trainer.
Yeah.
So you get them certified. And that's when I went to the market and said, oh, there was only one academy, very respected guy. He passed away, but Kaizat Kapadi used to run an academy called K11. And he used to produce really amazing people. But he used to never get good talent from
Yeah.
there because there was always a demand-supply gap. So I said, we'll set up our own academy. And then we set up our own academy. I hired 2 people from the UK, took them to India, and I said, you set up the academy for me. And these 2 guys set up an academy. I said, let's get the highest, like British standards for personal training
Yeah.
are like 10 on 10,
Of
right?
course.
Really good. So got these 2 guys there. They worked with me for 4 years. They ran the academy for me. And we would just hire freshers.
Yeah.
But you have the right attitude.
Hmm.
You want to actually make a difference in people's lives. You're young, you're hungry, you want to learn.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I want. And you fit yourself.
Yeah.
So one very important thing was, like, one thing we used to notice in the Indian gyms was, fucking trainers with pot bellies.
Yeah. Okay.
Seriously, man.
Yeah.
And their argument would be, dude, but I know anatomy, I know how to do this. Says, you don't look the part.
Mm.
I want people to be fit because we're not only doing bodybuilding,
Of course.
right?
Yeah.
Like I remember in the armed forces before, my dad used to tell me, before you touch the plates or any weight, can you climb this rope? So the rope climb, it's like a 3-meter or 4-meter rope climb.
Yeah.
You have to climb that. If you can do that without using your legs, then you're strong enough to touch a weight. First, can you do push-ups? Can you do pull-ups? Can you do rope climb? Can you do battle ropes? Can you do tire flip? All these 4-5 things, basic, before you touch weights.
Yeah.
So we used to do a fitness test for trainers
Jeez.
before they came on board.
Yeah.
So if you're fit, you played a sport, you're healthy, you have this enthusiasm. So for
Perfect.
me, the game changer was, our motto used to be, for a lack of a better word, we're called a gym. Otherwise, we're a community of fitness enthusiasts.
Mm.
And trainers were part of that community. So it's not a client that you're looking at. It's the community you're looking at.
Yeah.
So, and then we went in and started helping people, started sponsoring athletes, people who had the lack of opportunity, and suddenly things fell in place. And that was a eureka moment for me when I realized, put the training and the trainer first, their education first.
Yeah.
Our differentiation for me at that point of time was just the trainers. We had the worst kit,
Wow.
we had the least capex investment,
Yeah.
but we used to charge the most because we had the right trainers who actually understood the importance of their education.
Mm.
I think a lot of times personal trainers undermine the amount of influence they can have on people's lives.
Of course.
If you're not educated well enough, you can't tell people what needs to be done.
Yeah.
So I wanted people to believe, the trainers to believe, that you know what, I have an important job.
Yeah.
You respect your profession first before you expect anybody else to respect it. So and then we had continuous education. We used to have workshops, and
Yeah.
so we became like a trainers academy,
Yeah.
and which was feeding into the gym.
Yeah.
And that's the model that flew.
That's smart, actually. I like that. I think that way you're able to shape the culture, which is very, very important. And thinking about it as well, it just came to my mind. How I would love your thoughts on how, like, in this day and age, everyone's a personal trainer. Online, it's like every person that I see
Oh
is.
man,
Yeah, I would love to hear your
it's a
thoughts.
fucking scam.
Yeah, it's scam.
It's absolute fucking scam.
Yeah. I want to pause here for a moment. A lot of the conversations we have on this podcast can open things up. And when that happens, it helps to think about how we can actually support ourselves from day to day. Empowered Human is supported by Life Lab Supplements. I know the founder, Ben, and I've seen how much care it puts into making these supplements. He's thoughtful about what goes in them and does not rush the process. I've been using the Essential range for a while now, and I've noticed a difference, especially in my sleep. If you want to learn more about LifeLab, go to lifelabsupplement.com. And on the days when life feels overwhelming, when your mind is loud and you don't know where to start, we have created the Empowered Affirmation Cards. They are not just words, but gentle prompts with action. Something you can reach for to pause, to ground yourself, and take one step back into yourself. And for those moments when you feel called to step out of your usual environment, this June, we are holding a small, intimate yoga retreat in Bali. 7 days to slow down, move gently, rest deeply, and reconnect with your body. And a sense of inner safety, held in nature with just 8 people. You will find links to all of this in the description below. Now, let's come back to the conversation.
Imagine, and this is I'll tell you. So I'm part of an organization called World Active, right? So it is an association of associations. So like the UK gym industry has got an association called UK Active. Europe has got Europe Active. Under Europe Active, there's Poland Active, there's Czech Active, all these actives. Together we work, across the world. So we've got all continents, and we work very closely with the World Health Organization. In fact, 2 years back, I was at the WHO to speak about how we as an industry are contributing. Because I'm elected treasurer in World Active. And so when you look at these associations, one of the things we do is work very closely to understand and to set standards for trainers. So we work with I chair the skills and workforce committee in World Active. So I work with IC reps, SimSpa, E reps. So we work on trying to look at what standards are across the world, right? So standardization and standards are different. So you can have two different standards, and standardization will be to get all of them together. So people don't understand the difference. Now, if you were to look at online training, the big problem, I remember talking to Catherine. She is now the chair for IC reps, which is the governing body for trainers across the world. And she said, I don't accept people to come to the UAE and start personal training till the time they've done a face-to-face course. So the problem is, just imagine now. So you've got a personal trainer who is certified online. He's now training somebody online on a deadlift, which is never been assessed on in the physical world.
Yeah.
Are you fucking joking?
Yeah. You can hinder
It's
someone.
exactly. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I think it's also stupidity of people who are online who are buying this training.
Yeah.
You need to figure out, you need to know an influencer
Mm.
is an influencer. He is not a personal trainer.
No, yeah.
A personal trainer may not have influence.
Mm.
It's like saying, I'm an influencer, I've got 300k followers, uh, I can operate an open heart surgery.
Yeah.
Bro,
Not
come
on me.
come on, lie down the fucking table.
Get down.
It's exactly that.
Yeah.
So figure out who they are,
Yeah.
see what the certifications are. I don't believe in online certifications.
Yeah.
There are some things you can learn online.
Yeah.
Nutrition,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mm.
Some parts of the course can be done online. You can read about them.
Yeah.
But physical assessment,
Yeah.
I mean, you and I both know, we go to the same gym now.
Mm.
A compound movement like a deadlift,
Yeah.
people try for years before getting it right.
100%.
And somebody does a course online for 2 days and says, I'm a strength and conditioning specialist. So you're a fucking dickhead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, strength and conditioning specialist.
Oh, fuck off, man.
Yeah, I feel like for me, it's like there's a lot of dangers in that sense. When you're claiming to be something and you're actually impacting someone's life, and someone could get injured, might not be able to go to work, affects the family life. So it's a big role.
And I've seen a lot of that.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of that. People just joking around. And it's very easy today to say, it's easy to find a program and people are just taking the piss.
Yeah.
Go to ChatGPT, create a program and charge people for it. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
yeah.
I just think that people undermine the value of a personal trainer. The UK has the highest mortality rate in terms of the people moving off from this industry. So we've got 27,000 certified personal trainers in the UK. 27,000.
Yeah.
86% of these people will leave the industry within the first year because they can't make enough money.
Yeah.
Because there are some fucking dickheads online who's selling personal training cheap who are not certified trainers.
Yeah.
There is huge demand. And I think regulating this, and I'm usually against regulation,
Yeah.
but this, like you rightly said, you are impacting people's lives. Dude, this is a responsible position. This is not, you're not just giving somebody advice.
Yeah.
You're getting them to lift weights, you're getting them to train. And if they injure themselves, they're going to lose their time of work.
Yeah.
It has a
It's
it
huge
has a
impact.
cascading effect.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize this. They're just there to make a quick buck.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate that.
Yeah. Do you know what? I did level 2, level 3 PT course, but even then, I couldn't take myself to actually teach someone. So I was like, for me, I see this is a big responsibility. Even though I feel like I know quite a bit, but I don't feel like even then I feel confident enough to actually, because I see it as like you're molding someone's life. It's not just like bodies, like mentally and physically and emotionally. It's a huge role, and I feel like I hope more people start to see it. As like I have a big responsibility.
100%. And I think personal trainers need to respect their own profession. So I did my PT course back in 2016, level 2, level 3.
Yeah.
And the only reason I didn't need to do it, I'm not a personal trainer, but the only reason I did that was just to even tell my people, guys, even I've done this course.
Yeah.
I don't need to.
Yeah.
But the business I'm in, I would love to know if I can, what it takes to be a personal trainer. And I'm glad I did that because it made me realize exactly what you said.
Yeah.
It made me realize, dude, this is not easy.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
Being a personal trainer is not easy.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
And I feel like for the real ones out there, like massive respect to them because it's not easy at all. Because I remember even the assessment, I was like, oh no. I have to bring someone in, then they have to have access to how I conduct the exercise and all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, this is not a joke. This is serious. And also as well, I love the fact that you took the course even though you're not a PT, because I feel like I feel like it's important to be able to put yourself in the shoes of the people that you're either they're working for you or you're working with, because then you understand the pain.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you have personal trainers that are working for you, you get it.
Yeah,
So
I
like,
understand. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah, it's hard. For anyone that's out there right now that is looking for PT online, what would you say they should look for?
They should not look for it.
Don't look for it online. Go to the gyms. They should not look for it.
Yeah, go to gyms, man. Honestly, it's
Yeah.
just why would you want to do personal training online?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I think COVID changed a few things in the
Of course,
industry,
yeah.
but we back to normal, man. I mean, just start going there because gyms are also very good for people's mental health.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not saying that they solve all mental health issues,
Yeah.
but they are uh, they are good community places,
Yeah.
and there are places you can go in, get the positive energy from the gym.
Yeah.
And it's community, it's
course.
around people.
Yeah.
And it's just, I just think online doesn't cut it for me.
No.
Like personally for me, and I
Yeah.
always tell people, don't do this online personal
Yeah.
training shit and
Yeah.
all that.
Just go in person.
Unless you're traveling. So example, you are my personal trainer,
Yeah.
and I'm now traveling, I'm in Dubai, but I want a session. Yeah, you and I understand each other.
Yeah.
You've seen me, you know what it's like for me.
Yeah.
And there's no right, we all different human beings.
Yeah.
But you as my coach understand me.
Yeah.
There's no other reason why in sports you have a coach and you make him travel across the world with you.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
It's the same very reason. They understand you.
Yeah.
So if you got a personal trainer who knows you physically, yeah, perfect. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Get your form and technique correct before you start doing online.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to explain somebody to do a squat,
Yeah.
online, or I mean, this is I don't understand it,
Yeah.
honestly.
I want to be a devil's advocate. What would you say to people that online trainers, but like they have this like videos, a demo online as well? What are your thoughts on that?
I think
Yeah.
see, it has to be a hybrid.
Yeah,
There's a good, there is I don't want to say all online personal
Yeah.
trainers are bad.
Yeah.
That's going to be wrong on my
Yeah.
part. I won't say that,
Yeah.
and it's really very irresponsible to say it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, when you have a client,
Yeah.
right? Typically, you should have at least a few sessions face to face in
In
the
per-
real world,
yeah.
in person, so you understand them well.
Yeah.
And then you can tell them what needs to be done.
like
They
that.
understand, and I think that's the way to. I know a lot of personal
Yeah.
trainers who do that.
Yeah.
Right? They do some sessions online, they do some, but a hybrid model is good. But when you're doing, I'm in Australia and I'm training somebody who's in some other country, I've never met them. It's a farce.
Yeah.
It's a farce. I mean, and I'm sure a lot of personal trainers will say that that's incorrect.
Yeah.
But that's my my
Yeah, that's your
belief.
opinion,
You know,
yeah.
this is my opinion.
Yeah, I quite like the hybrid model, and again as well, like I like people. I'm a people's person.
Yeah.
So like I never really buy into like online stuff. Like when I was competing in bodybuilding, I had a coach online, and for some reason I just couldn't make that connection.
Yeah.
And there was always that distance. So I feel like the hybrid model feels like something that would work well for me if I was choosing something again.
And I think people who can do online, honestly, the people who can do online are also, so if you've trained for years
Yeah.
and there's like Ollie Machon runs a program, an online transformation program, for people who've already done this before and he's doing the program for them, that's fine. But if you're a newbie,
Got you.
right?
Yeah.
I've never done personal training before, I've never been to a gym before, and I'm going to take an online trainer, that's fucking red flag for me.
Got you.
So
Makes
if I
sense.
have trained in the past,
Yeah.
I've been training for years,
Yeah.
and I want to pick up an online coach, yes, makes sense. Provided
Yeah.
you choosing the right coach.
Yeah.
Provided he is a personal trainer. See their education background, where
Yeah.
they've studied, right? If somebody's done their masters in physiotherapy, or somebody's has done their level 2, level 3 personal training, certified, done the stuff, has worked in gyms, has got experience. Don't pick up a 21-year-old who's never fucking done any personal training in his life. He's just done an online course, a 2-day certification course, and start taking PT from him because he's cheaper. That's stupidity.
Yeah. I feel like as well, he dilutes the industry if you just have like
Yeah.
people just offering it for cheap, even though it shouldn't be. It's real quality.
It's
to
mad, man. It's
Yeah.
you. This is your investment on yourself.
yourself. Yeah, of course.
If you train hard, right? You see, whatever you wear looks good on you.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't train, you can wear fucking Gucci and Louis Vuitton. You look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can wear a 5-pound t-shirt and still look the part
Yeah.
because you're fit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's the best thing.
Yeah.
If you start looking fit,
Yeah.
when somebody who's trained hard walks into my office, the first thing I'm thinking is, this guy's
Yes.
disciplined.
Yeah. True. Because it takes a lot to get to
Like
that level.
I see you train
Yeah.
really hard.
Yeah,
And I
thank
remember
you.
you had a knee issue, right?
Yeah.
And we spoke about that. But you are training yourself
Yeah.
to overcome that,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So you train hard.
Yeah.
And So when I walk into when I'm interviewing somebody,
Yeah.
if they look the part, if they're in shape, one thing that definitely tells, one thing that I am sure of
Yeah.
is they're disciplined.
Yeah, yeah, it's important. Right. So obviously the question initially was asking you about, how the growth are you when, what was the main catalyst for the growth? And for me, what I took from that was the culture.
Yes.
Having an academy that teaches
Yes.
like, culture and community. I think that's the biggest
Yeah.
thing that changed. So for anyone that's listening to this, if you're looking to grow a business, look at the culture, look at the community element of it.
Create your own DNA.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? What you
Yeah, I like
stand
that.
for.
Yeah.
What you stand for as a company, as an organization.
Mm.
And that'll only come from people.
Yeah.
So create the right culture.
Yeah, I love that. And then let's go back to fast forward to where you're at now, right? You've moved from. Do you still own gyms or not anymore? Are you just
Yeah,
sell
I do own a few gyms.
a
Yeah.
few gyms?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like which ones like the basically.
So they're in India.
Yeah.
We're planning to open a few in the UK pretty soon.
Oh, exciting!
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But they're very small. They're transformation studios. So
got you.
it's a 12-week transformation program. We work with people, to create the program, and it's only focused towards getting people to change their habits, their lives. So it's so when you walk into the so imagine you walk into the gym,
Yeah,
and now on day one we do a testing for you to figure out where you stand.
yeah,
Based on that, a program is created for you, and then you go, and so the idea came when I was running my gym chain,
yeah,
and we realized that it's not the people who were taking personal training who were getting the best results or who were sticky. The people who were sticky were the people who attended our classes, the group classes, the sessions. But our group classes were not like a normal group class. They were strength based group classes, and
yeah.
that's where people were getting results. And also they were sticky because they were around people, and they were a group of
Community.
people.
Yeah,
So I said, how do I now scale this, right? Because it became very trainer centric. If and finding good trainers, like I said, very difficult.
mm.
So said, okay, let's create this program now, and let's create technology. So now the day you walk in, a test is done. Based on the test, your program is created. It goes onto your app. Your app now has your program.
Smart.
You attend this group training with about 12 people.
Mm.
It's predominantly strength. So there are three. So it's like a 4 into 3 lane kind of a system
Yeah,
where you've got a strength section, a functional section, and a capacity section. So capacity will be a ski erg, or a air bike and a rower.
yeah,
And then you got functional space where you're doing the mobility. You got a dual cage, and one side is complete strength.
yeah,
And what happens is when you walk in,
yeah,
so example, I walk in and you walk in, so you booked a class, you booked a training day. We don't call it a class.
yeah,
You booked a training day, and you've said, okay, I'm coming at 7 a.m. in the morning. It'll tell you of those lanes where you need to go and stand. When you stand in, your television screen will give you your program or your weights that you need to lift, and there's a coach to correct your form and technique.
yeah,
But now what you're getting is a personal trainer who's looking at what you're doing,
yeah,
right? Your form and technique,
yeah,
and a group of 12 people who are motivating each other to do this. So we've all got different programs.
yeah,
We got all different weights,
yeah,
but we are part of the same session. So we have a lot of fun together.
yeah,
So you may be lifting 50 dumbbells, I may be lifting 25 dumbbells,
yeah,
but it doesn't matter because you're doing what's right for you. I'm doing
yeah.
what's right for me. But what we are thriving off is the energy of the and so
Yeah,
that's how this model was created. So it's predominantly a tech company. It'll go into other gym chains as a shop in shop.
yeah,
So if you're a gym, you could pick this model up and say, okay, it's 1575 square feet space. Put this equipment, put the technology. The program is put in. So the coach has got his coach app.
yeah.
He looks at that. You got your personal app. You got a booking mechanism. So it's all automated.
That's smart. I like the elements of like how person centric it is. It's very personalized, but also as well there's the community element as well. So it's like
Yes.
they both meet in the middle.
Yes.
That's very smart. Do you know what? We're talking about community earlier, and I thought about Hyrox, right?
Yes.
And like I was thinking about, okay, how has it grown so fast, so big? And I think for me, obviously, the community and how inclusive it is. I would love your thought on this as someone that's in the fitness industry. What do you think like led to the growth of Hyrox as an
I think
event?
Hyrox is identified a gap which was
Mm,
people who wanted to be everyday athletes. People who wanted a sense of achievement, wanted to be a part of the community, like you
yeah,
said, and just wanted something that'll get them to move as well. Not a lot of people find gyms boring,
true.
right? So in our own, in our own town here,
Yeah,
there's this there's a gym called Lean. I don't know if you've heard of it,
Yeah, yeah,
right? So Paul Stannard runs
yeah,
that. He's a lovely guy,
yeah,
and he runs something called as a high truck. So it's a truck which has got Hyrox equipment in it.
yeah. I've seen
It
it.
goes
Yeah,
across that. Man, it's
smart.
phenomenal. It's
Yeah,
phenomenal. And what does he thrive off? The community, right?
yeah,
So you go to a place and so people get bored very easily,
mm.
right? How many days will you do? You don't grow limbs, do you? You can't fucking do the you can't. How many times do you do leg day, back day, chest day, leg day,
Mm,
back?
mm.
People want to do something different, right?
Yeah,
So, and people want to be part of something.
yeah,
So when you go, we recently sponsored one of the brands that I run. One of the companies is a women's athleisure brand called 3XP.
yeah,
It stands for exponential. So be the exponential version of yourself, the best version of
yeah,
yourself. So we sponsored these girl games
yeah,
uh, last Sunday. The energy there is just phenomenal,
yeah. I
right?
love that.
It's just getting people
Mm.
to come to a place to celebrate success. Success means completing the race. It's not about winning.
Yeah,
It's not about who gets the number one. Yes, it is for a few people,
yeah,
but for most people, it is, set a goal for myself. I want to improve. I want to do this. I want to be a part of the community, and people cheering you up. It's like if everybody had an opportunity to be an athlete, to be a part of Olympics. That's what Hyrox has
yeah,
done for
yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah,
It's given them that opportunity
yeah,
that uh, you may not be great enough to play for Team GB,
yeah,
but you can still play the sport
yeah,
at a level where you will get the approval from your
yeah,
folks.
yeah,
So I still remember, these girls were lifting deadlifts, and people who didn't even know them were you know
yeah,
were, were cheering for them, and
yeah,
it's just what human beings are all about. I think Hyrox identified that gap, that people want a sense of achievement. They
yeah.
want to do something. They want to stay fit. Wellness is becoming big. It was all, I think, sometimes we just have these planetary alignments where everything was aligned, and they've just come up with a killer product.
That's smart. Yeah, it's so smart. Because I was thinking about CrossFit, how CrossFit never got to Hyrox level because CrossFit was very
Elitist.
elitist. Yeah,
So you see, CrossFit was all about, either this is this way or it's
yeah.
not
It's
there.
either you're in, you're out.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. So they were very, very particular about what they wanted, and they were very. It actually became, oh, this is the form. This is what Hyrox says. Dude, everybody can
yeah,
do this. Just open the floodgates for
yeah,
people who were, sitting on the fence and wanted to be a part of this. So I know so many friends of mine
yeah.
who do Hyrox. They don't go to the gym. They go to the gym only to do
The
what they do at
Hyrox,
Hyrox.
yeah,
That's the only thing they love.
yeah. I love that though. Personally, I'm very like I hate. I'm not hate. Hate is wrong word. I'm anti anything that is too popular, too overhyped. I'm waiting for the hype to die down. Then I'll do a Hyrox. But for now, would you do an Hyrox?
For that fuck, I would never do. It's too. Uh,
It's
it's
a
not
running.
my.
It's a running because my knees I can't. Saying that I did the
Yeah,
marathon, but
yeah, yeah. You did a man. Yeah, I remember. No, my left knee is a little dodgy. That's
yeah,
one, and I'm not an endurance person per se.
got you.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm more I like to weight train, strength train.
Mm,
A little bit of calisthenics, like very basic. I
yeah.
think pull-ups, push-ups, dips, and compound movements is what I
Yeah.
really like. I'm more into that. That gets
Yeah.
me going.
Yeah.
I'm not a person who likes to run like Jake, my business partner. He's
Yeah.
like, he always pushes me. "Hey, let's do a 5 minute row." I just fucking hate it.
Nah.
Oh
Don't
man.
let me do
Oh,
this.
oh shit.
You're a bro split guy. I love that. Sorry, obviously, what is next for you guys now? Like, what are you guys doing? Obviously, you said you've got the women's brand.
So I've got a few businesses, right?
Yeah.
The women's activewear brand is one. We've got a gym equipment business called MYG,
Yeah.
which is absolutely flying at I think at the moment that's the one that's doing really well,
That's amazing.
because also it's at that stage. We are right. I think about 4 years, 5 years in the 2020. Yeah, we have 5 years in the making.
Mm.
The first 2 years were during COVID, so it was like pretty difficult, and we were learning. But
Yeah.
that gave an opportunity for us, because I would say it was because it was COVID, we could make a lot of mistakes. So
Yeah,
I think we
yeah.
made our mistakes at the point of time where it didn't matter so much,
Yeah.
right? Because we were not dealing with the largest of customers, and then in the last few years, it's just skyrocketed. It's just doing extremely well. We've done, we've expanded in the Middle East market,
Yeah.
which has become a big market for us. We're doing a lot of good work in the UK.
Yeah.
So that's the second business. The transformation studio is at the moment a technology solution. We are in the process of building some of our. So we've tested the product. We've done
Yeah.
whatever needs to be done, and it's the technology is called Fitco. We're going to eventually get into different gyms as a shop in shop. That's
Yeah.
the other business. So
That's cool.
these are
Yeah.
the three spaces
Yeah.
I am in at the moment. But like I said, my passion project is the podcast.
Podcast, yeah. But before I talk about podcasts, I want to ask you as well, because as someone who moved from a different country to the UK myself, like I would love, obviously, what was the reason why you moved to the UK? What was it like for you being in the UK, and do you plan to stay in the UK for long? Those three questions.
Yeah, this is a good market to be in for you to learn.
Yeah.
You know, the competition is pretty strong, pretty fierce in the space we are in, which means that you can learn. I think it's like when you play a sport, you
Yeah.
would want to play with a player better than you.
Yeah.
So this is a good market to be in to learn. So I think that's the reason I came here. I had business in the UK almost 2017 is when I had my first business here. So
Yeah.
almost 9 years now.
Wow.
But I was not staying in the UK at that point of time.
Yeah.
What I was doing was I used to come in for my meetings and go, and we had, employees who were running the business here. But about 3 years back is when I said, if I really want to be in this market, I should move here, and that's when I moved here. So this is home for me now,
Yeah.
and I love the UK, and I think there's a lot you can learn from we all moan about what's wrong,
Yeah.
but there's a lot you can learn from the UK. There's a lot people can across the world learn the systems, the processes. They're on point.
Yeah.
Only thing is, I tell a lot of my friends in the UK, you guys should be grateful for what the country has given you.
Yeah.
People tend to moan a lot in the UK.
Yeah.
I think they've not seen the third world.
Yeah.
They've not seen what we don't call it third world anymore. We say the
Yeah.
developing world.
Yeah.
Developing world means there is a lot of growth,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of opportunity. But that also means that there are a lot of constraints.
Yeah.
I don't think people from this country would be able to work in a third world country with the kind of constraints you've got.
Yeah.
Like people take things for granted. Do you have 24/7 electricity? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have running hot water? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have good roads? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have
The welfare system.
the welfare system? Yeah. I mean,
Healthcare is slow, but you still have it.
yeah. I don't know why people.
Yeah.
I don't know why people talk so ill about NHS.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in a country where your government is not taking care of your healthcare. In emergency,
Yeah.
NHS is 10 on 10,
Yeah. On it. Yeah.
right? Yes, there may be waiting period for other things,
Yeah.
but it's free for you.
Yeah.
People have to pay an arm and a leg in other countries to get medical
If-
treatment.
even I'm not sure if you followed Anthony Joshua's recent accident in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm Nigerian, and even Anthony Joshua is like a multi-millionaire in Nigeria. Even then, there was no like emergency service that
Yeah.
came to him.
Yeah.
Imagine ordinary people.
Exactly. And we just take these things for granted
Yeah.
in this country, right?
Yeah.
I love this country. I
Mm.
love people here. I love what it stands for.
Yeah.
But I think every single person in the developed world, and I won't say only the UK, should do a year stint in a developing country,
Yeah.
not in Australia,
Yeah. Yeah.
not in America,
Yeah.
and say I've been to another country. You've not, because
No.
they're all very similar.
Yeah.
And say, oh, I packed my bags and went to Australia, dude. That doesn't mean fuck all, because
Yeah.
it's a very similar country culture.
Mm.
Go to and when you go to a developing country,
Yeah.
don't go for a fucking yoga retreat in Bali or a fucking yoga retreat in India or something like that. That's not seeing the country.
Yeah.
Work there for a year
Yeah. Immerse yourself.
and understand the culture, understand what constraints are. You will come back a lot more resourceful. People don't look. I think where people lack in developed world
Yeah.
is because they take these things for granted. They're not as resourceful as people in the developing world would be, because in developing world you work with a lot more constraints,
Got you. Yeah.
right? And when you're constrained, you start thinking, you start innovating. That's why innovation is coming from places where there are constraints, there are problems, and you want to solve those problems.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing.
It's insane. Like, it's so true you said that, because I was looking at some data the other day, and I was talking about, like, Africa is going to be, like, one of the biggest economy, because like you said, there's a lot of constraint, but tech is growing there because,
Man, look at the demographics.
yeah, numbers as well. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, like Nigeria, I think we're like the top 6 population in the world. So, like, there's a lot of people there that are hungry, and, like, in the next 10, 50, 30 years, I can see growth. Just yeah,
And because people have not seen it here, they don't understand.
true.
It's simple as that. So
Yeah.
unless you visited,
Yeah,
like I have traveled a lot, I've traveled 84 countries, and I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
84 countries. I feel like that should be a new episode. Just exploring the 84 countries. Yeah,
you, when people have not seen something, they
Yeah.
believe it doesn't exist. So it's like, there's a very good saying. It says, absence of evidence is
Yeah.
not evidence of absence.
no, yeah,
Just because you've not seen it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
If you travel to Africa, you will see the amount of opportunity that is there.
It's insane.
It's
Yeah.
just I think people in the developed world have it very easy for some of the things.
Gotcha. Yeah.
They have some difficult things. Like example, one of the biggest problems in the UK that people see is the cost of living.
Yeah.
It's expensive to stay in this
Yes,
country.
yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
But you need to realize you're not dying for survival.
Yeah.
The government is taking care of most of the shit. Like, you take education for granted here. Come on, man.
Yeah.
If I had to do a post-graduation in India, my dad would have to mortgage his house
Gee.
for me to take an education loan.
Yeah. It's the same in Nigeria as well. Like, parents, education is a huge deal.
Yeah.
Like, parents will sell whatever they have to sell to make sure that their kids go to school.
Yeah.
And here, even though you get the loan, I think the loan is a good idea. But my only thing is, like, before going to uni or getting to debt or getting to loan, make sure, like, you actually want to do that thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, people take, I was reading some statistic. It says, I didn't know this till I
Yeah.
moved here, that, you can go to uni,
Yeah.
the government will fund you for that,
Yeah.
and no personal guarantees to be given by parents.
Yeah.
And if you don't earn enough, you don't have to
You
pay
have to
back.
pay, yeah.
Are you joking?
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
And people still don't study.
Yeah,
What the fuck is
yeah,
wrong?
Yeah, that's
You
true.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, you only pay
Oh.
it back, like, if you're making a certain amount of money. Yeah. So I feel like, for me, there's a lot of opportunities here. If you look in the right place, if you work hard, I think
Yes.
hard work is very important. I was gonna ask you as well about, obviously, you love it here in the UK. Do you see his future here in the UK, or do you see yourself
Yeah, I think
exploring? Because I feel like you're a leader that loves to, like, okay, let me learn something here. Okay, I've learned something a little bit here.
no, I think I'll make UK as my base,
Yeah.
but I'll obviously keep traveling to other countries. What I like about the UK is the people.
Yeah,
People are generally very nice here. Very polite, helpful.
definitely more up north.
Yes,
Down there.
like,
yeah.
I'm not going south.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, my favorite city is Manchester. People are
Yeah.
really nice here.
Yeah.
I think I have a group of friends, and the social life is good. People like I said, people are generally helpful here.
Yeah.
Right? It's different. The culture is different.
Yeah.
But I quite like the UK. I quite like, and I think because at least one good thing about the colonization is we all speak the same language.
Yeah. So English. Yeah.
We speak English, so
yeah.
so that's good. So
Yeah.
I mean, I find it really good here. I find
Yeah.
people really nice here, and it's the people who make the country. It's not
Exactly.
if people weren't nice,
Yeah.
all this infrastructure would be useless.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I think that's the point.
And also as well, I feel like as well it depends on who you are as a person.
Yeah.
Because I think you attract the kind of people that you are. If you're kind of person that's, like, positive, and you attract those kind of people around you, and that would be like your tribe as
Yeah.
such. Podcasting. I know you're a podcaster.
Yeah.
How's that journey? Why did you start that journey in the first place?
There aren't enough stories about people in the fitness industry.
Yeah.
So the podcast started with the idea of celebrating entrepreneurship in the fitness industry.
Yeah.
So if you were to draw a Venn diagram between entrepreneurship and fitness, what's in the middle is what I spoke about. So people who are founders of fitness companies, be it apps, be it wearables, gyms, and who are actually impacting the community. Whatever I have got in my life has come from this industry,
Yeah.
right? So it's a way to give it back. Also, when you start speaking with people in a podcast, I genuinely learn learn so much
Same.
from
Yeah.
people, is just unbelievable,
Yeah.
because it's a conversation between two friends,
Yeah.
right? Like you and I talking
Yeah.
is, I would love to be a fly on the wall just to listen to a conversation
Yeah.
like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and my podcast is completely unstructured. I don't
Yeah.
give any questions,
Yeah.
nothing, just a conversation.
Yeah.
So it also helps me
Mm.
to get better as a person, as a business leader. You know, my job
Mm.
is to take a lot of knowledge.
Yeah.
At the top, I think your job as an entrepreneur, when you're a
Yeah.
founder, as you grow, your job is to take 2 or 3 good decisions,
Yeah.
right? Your decision making is the most important. Decision making comes from what's your base of knowledge,
Mm.
right? What you know about the industry. So the more you meet, the more people you meet, and this is the best where would you get a chance to sit with a founder of a fitness company for 3 hours, 2 hours of whatever, and have a chat with them, an honest conversation? It's very difficult, very
Yeah.
rare.
Right.
So
Yeah.
so I go for a lot of these fitness events across the world, be it Germany, Italy, Sweden, Dubai, Saudi, all these events, and in the UK as well. You don't get that kind of time with people. Usually, if you and I meet at an event, we'll spend 15 minutes, 10
And then
minutes,
bye. Yeah.
have a pint and
Yeah.
and get lost. But when you're sitting in a podcast, it's serious conversation, and you
Yeah.
can ask real questions,
Yeah.
and you'll get real answers, because
Yeah.
they're in that frame of mind. So you get that one-to-one time with these business leaders. You learn a lot, and as you evolve as a podcaster, one thing I realized was your depth of knowledge becomes better. The kind of questions you ask get better, and you improve as a person, and your ability to look at multiple things at the same time and make decisions gets better. So
Yeah.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
the best part of my work.
It's so true. I feel like podcasting for me, like, it's helped me improve my communication skills. Again, I think active listening is so important in, as a leader, as in business, just be able to, like, I think a lot of time people think you have to talk all the time. No, actually, like, when you listen, then you actually are able to better understand the person better and ask better questions, quality questions. I feel like podcasting has helped in that sense.
And that's just something I learned. You're right.
Yeah.
I remember, and I was talking to myself, and I said, there's a reason we've got 2 ears and one mouth.
Yeah.
You got to
Oh, I
listen.
like that.
So initially, I used to talk a lot on my podcast, but I've started understanding what's the job of a host. The job of a host is to ask relevant questions. You have this so imagine, we all use Google search every day.
Yeah.
We use Chat GPT. They would Chat GPT and Google would answer to the question you asked. If you asked a stupid question,
You get stupid answers.
exactly that.
Yeah.
So, as a host,
Yeah.
you ask the right questions. You have an opportunity now.
Yeah.
You're sitting with somebody who is running an organization, a multi-million-dollar firm,
Yeah.
has built it from a scratch. Your viewers are relying on you to ask the right questions.
Yeah.
If you don't ask the right questions, you're not going to get value from the podcast. So what I try to improve with every episode is the ability to ask the right questions and the relevant ones, which would add value to my listeners.
Yeah.
So that's the idea.
It's so important. For me as well, like you said, like, I feel like there is no faster way to learn than speaking from someone that's got the experience that you haven't got.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
like for me, like from this conversation, I started thinking about, I think culture and building your own company's DNA from, like, ground up, having an academy. It's like, obviously, I'm not gonna have an academy. I might have something smaller than that, but it got me thinking about, okay, the kind of people that I want to work like with me, what am I looking for in them, and also as well, like, how can I communicate my company's DNA and get that across to them in a way that feels organic.
Once you get the DNA right, the armed forces have a word called camaraderie, which has come from there, and camaraderie is basically, you start believing so much in your vision that you become one team, and then that's so difficult. Easier said than done. It's so difficult, and that's why you need a DNA, a culture, where people do this.
Yeah, I love that. Before we finish, I want to ask you about, like, what your prediction when it comes to health and fitness. Again, AI is a huge subject. I feel like we could talk forever because, like, tell me, like, what direction do you see the fitness industry going?
I think this is the next big thing. AI will do wonders for us in one thing. It'll give
Yeah.
us a lot more time, which means time to spend on yourself.
Yeah.
Wellness is the fastest growing industry in the world at the moment in our space.
Yeah.
So it's not the gyms alone, it's everything around it. People are now looking at eating healthy. I mean, nobody was talking about sleep 5 6 years back.
Yeah.
Don't people underestimate what sleep is, and,
Yeah.
and how important it is for recovery, it is how important it is for your life, general well-being. So I think this industry is going to grow. In fact, the recent book that I wrote, I contributed a
yeah.
chapter is called Beyond Reps, and it says the reps was like the reps we do in the gym, and it talks about there are 19 authors. We've all spoken about different things,
Yeah.
founders of different
Yeah.
companies, and we've spoken about what are the models that that will evolve. But the wellness industry in itself is just exploding.
Yeah.
It's going to be growing faster than anything else we've ever witnessed, because
Gee.
people have time. So when you say AI, what it's going to do is, this is my view
Yeah.
again, is that a lot of things can be managed by AI very well, like creating a program,
Yeah.
doing XYZ. But the human experience, the human, connect, the community is only going to get more important.
Yeah.
The world's changed, man. People are working from home,
Yeah.
right? It's like that is not going to change.
Yeah.
So people need to interact with people.
Yeah.
People say, no, the world's gone remote. They're going to get back. No,
No.
dude, it's like the television set.
Yeah.
If you now invented a remote control, you're not walking to the fucking TV
No.
to switch
No.
it on.
Yeah.
When did you last do that?
No. No. Yeah.
Like, I was trying to do it, I couldn't find my remote.
Yeah.
I didn't even know where the fucking switch was.
Yeah.
Anything.
First.
So
Yeah.
people are going to be remote,
Yeah.
right? There are some jobs which obviously require you to be there. Hybrid model is probably where it'll end up. So people don't have that connect. People now want to go to spaces, and now, because I've got more time, I'm not spending an hour and a half going to work every day.
Yeah.
I've got more time to myself, so I want to improve myself.
Yeah.
I want to live longer. I want to live healthier.
Yeah.
It's not only the age span or the lifespan, it's the quality of life.
Yeah.
So that quality of life will improve only with doing this. So people are reading more about it, people are talking about it.
Yeah.
So I think the future is very bright for the fitness industry.
Yeah.
I love this industry for what we stand for.
Yeah.
I love how people genuinely, and this is not an industry where you can make a lot of money. You
Yeah.
can make money, but it's not like crazy. But I love what people stand for in this industry. Most of us are in this industry for the love of it.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Money is a byproduct,
Yeah.
but we're there for the love of it.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it different.
I love that. I think trying to change lives, and I think money is a byproduct of that. If you're doing a good job, money comes as a byproduct of that.
Easy.
And you grow. I want to talk about podcasting a little bit, but it won't go on your podcast. I'm just going to use it to market podcasts in our space. When it comes to authority, like, how important is having a podcast?
Oh, it's extremely important. This is a very good. There's an author called Daniel Presley. I don't know if you've heard of him.
No.
He's really he was on Stephen Bartlett's podcast, and he's got this book called Key Person of Influence.
Yeah.
Amazing. And this is what all of us have a base of knowledge.
Yeah.
Right. Having a podcast as a business leader, or going on a podcast,
Yeah.
really helps position yourself as a person of influence within your industry.
Yeah.
The more content you have online about yourself, see, online is the real, especially in content. People want the phone is the biggest marketing tool today.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're a podcaster, two things are happening. You become an authority by virtue of, if you're a good podcaster, you will become an authority over a period of time. Now, some people will take short period of time, some people will take long, but it will happen at some point of time.
Yeah.
Look at Stephen Bartlett's story.
Yeah.
Not everybody is going to become Stephen Bartlett, but there are so many great podcasters across the world.
Absolutely.
One of my friends runs this called the Energy Equation, Ollie Patrick, and amazing. Again, he's talking about the energy equation, which is more about the human balanced life. What you should be doing in terms of fitness, wellness, well-being for yourself, and what are the new things that are in the market. What should people look at? Because with the changing environment in the world, you have to adapt yourself as human beings.
Yeah, of
So
course.
he talks about that. So I think as a podcaster, what you become is a person of influence within your industry first.
Yeah.
So two things. Guests, I would always tell people, if somebody is inviting you for a podcast, do some service to the world, share your knowledge with people. All of us have had experience, right? Something or the other. It could be a 20-year-old kid who's injured himself and in sports and now has reinvented himself. That's a story people should know about, because people will relate to people, right? So as a podcaster, I think one thing is you personally become a person of influence. If you're a guest on a podcast, again, that helps you to become, people for you to be heard, seen, and speak honestly about what you feel. So I mean, I personally, I believe, that it's probably one of the biggest. Again, podcasting is growing rapidly.
Yeah, it's huge. Like for me, like the gap is like, for example, like I read the stat that it takes 21 episodes to be part of the 1% of podcasts in the world. I'm like, that it's for me, it's like, what? So it's still growing. Like there's opportunity to grow rapidly. Yesterday we released our 21st episode. I'm like,
wow,
1% gang, let's go.
Yes.
So for me now, it's incredible. Also as well, I feel like with the authority, the byproduct of that is, okay, people have clarity on what you have to offer.
Yes.
And then conversion as well. It's like try before you buy.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, again, the world's changing. People are buying from people. It's like, do you think Jeff Bezos needs to be in the limelight for you to buy something worth 10 quid off his platform? No. But he has made a story around himself. Elon Musk has made
built that,
So a lot of companies today, like gym owners also, or company owners, the founders are people who people look up to now. Right? They're the new superheroes. So if you don't have a story to tell, you're just a product.
And then a product will come in and one day knock you out.
Exactly.
Done.
Exactly. Like, come on. Back in the day, and I wrote an article on this yesterday on LinkedIn.
Oh, wow.
And I said, yesterday it was, and I said, back in the day, we used to get athletes and celebrities to endorse things. Today, the founder is the celebrity. He has to talk about his product. He has to be there. He has to live, breathe, his own product or his own service or whatever it is. And that's what they are. They are, founders have become celebrities. Even in India, podcasting has just gone through the roof.
It's huge.
It's massive.
And it's still growing. Thank you for your time today. For people that are listening and don't want to find you or follow all your journeys in businesses, where can they find you?
I think the best is Instagram and LinkedIn. My Instagram handle is samir.kapoor and my LinkedIn is Samir Kapoor, Dr. Samir Kapoor.
Any final words?
Amazing experience.
And
I think people will take a lot from this episode in terms of, because we've just spoken as two blokes, and genuinely, like, I wanted to know about you and you wanted to know about me. I think that's very important. And for anybody who wants to start a business and is thinking about it, this is an episode that they should listen into.
Start now. Also, as well, before you start, know that it's not just about the money. There's more that goes behind it. It's the perseverance. It's building up the resilience and knowing that the staff members may not care as much as, like, they do care, but not as much as you care. Like, you are the parents, as you put it, and the staff members are the children. That your role is to lead and guide them along the way. Thank you so much today. Until next, I feel like I want to explore the 84 countries. 84? 84 countries, at some point in the future, and like just share experience in like different countries and like what lesson you learned from each places. I think it was super insightful. But otherwise, until next time.
Thank you so much.
Peace. I love a high five. Oh. Thank you. Before you go, I want to leave you with this. Conversations like this aren't meant to stay in your head. They ask for care, patience, and the right kind of support. On the everyday level, Empowered Human is supported by LifeLab Supplements, whose focus on energy, immunity, and sleep reminds us that the body needs a steady foundation. And on the days when everything feels overwhelming, the Empowered Human affirmation cards are there as a gentle, grounding practice, offering reflection and small intentional actions when you don't know where to start. You will find everything linked below. If this conversation resonated, consider subscribing. I will see you in the next one.